Isaiah chapter 9, verse 4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord, Yahweh of hosts. I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Yasharallah, and salutation to the Akim throughout the four corners of the earth, preaching the truth and sincerity, and keeping the faith of Yahweh Shai and the gospel. This is Hawa Ya'Allah. Just going into a brief lesson just concerning, this last week's town hall meeting that Obama had concerning pretty much these executive orders on gun control. And, basically, it's apparent that Obama is the guy who's been set up by the elites to do some dirty work, okay? And this dirty work is something that is prophesied all throughout the scriptures. I'm not going to go into everything, but just kind of wanted to briefly just kind of touch on some of the things that he said, which basically shows you that he's outright telling, all right, these Babylonians, all right, you Egyptians, okay, that he is going to basically have martial law instituted, all right, and they do plan on taking the guns. And we're going to kind of go into just briefly a little bit of what he said and kind of just go over it with just the scriptures, just a couple of precepts after this, and just letting you know that, the time is done for this place, okay? This place is pretty much, there's certain things that's going on with the economy, right, with pretty much World War III in the Middle East, and you Babylonians have no idea what's really going on, and you're more worried about the fact that you will have the right to either to buy guns. First of all, you Babylonians, you'll have no chance against the military, okay? You'd have no chance against drones, against airstrikes, okay, against MRAPs, tanks, okay, against highly trained soldiers. So your whole belief that somehow, some way you're going to be able to defend yourself against what's to come, all right, is laughable at this point, all right? You're imagining a vain thing, okay? Just like in Psalms, the 2nd chapter. You're imagining vain things, thinking that you're going to do some kind of like new American Revolution. First of all, the American Revolution was set up by the elites for it to happen the way it did, right? What is set up by the elites to happen right now is for you to basically go to war against the government, to be in sedition, to be slaughtered in the millions, tens and hundreds of millions, all right? And the remnant of you to be dragged into concentration camps, and some of you gonna get executed, and you're gonna harvest your organs, and some of you they're gonna let live, and you're gonna take the chip. And then after that, the missiles is gonna come. So at the end of the day, there's nothing you Babylonians can do, especially you Joe Sixpack low-level Edomites. There's nothing you can do. You could clutch to your gun all you want. It's not gonna change the fact that America's coming to an end. So basically, he's gonna go into what Obama said concerning, the whole thing about the conspiracy, about whether or not he's planning on taking the guns, all right, and whether or not he's planning on instituting martial law. And you can see very much well in this clip that he's going to let you know his answer.
What I think Mark is alluding to is what I said earlier, this notion of a conspiracy out there, and it gets wrapped up in concerns about the federal government. Now, there's a long history of that. That's in our DNA. The United States was born suspicious of some distant authority.
But let me just jump in. Is it fair to call it a conspiracy? I mean,
well, yeah.
There's a lot of people really believe this deeply, that they just don't.
No.
They just don't trust you.
I'm sorry, Cooper. Yes, it is fair to call it a conspiracy. What are you saying? Are you suggesting that the notion that we are creating a plot to take everybody's guns away so that we can impose martial law
but there's certainly a
is
lot of
a
people.
Conspiracy? Yes, that is a conspiracy. I would hope that you would agree with that. Is that controversial?
All right, so now you've seen the clip. He basically lets you know that it's a conspiracy, that he's going to take guns and institute martial law. And even Anderson Cooper agrees with him, right? So let's kind of go into what the word conspiracy means, okay? Because you Babylonians, right, and 2/3 of you Jakes out there, you have no idea what the word conspiracy really means. Okay, so we're going to go into the word conspiracy. It says here, mid-14th century from Anglo-French conspiracy, Old French conspiracy, a plot. Okay, and then, hey, even threw the word plot in there, showing you that he knows exactly what the meaning of that word is. Okay, now we're going to go a little bit further. It says here from the Latin conspiratinium, and it says here agreement, union, unanimity. Okay, so it's basically an agreement. And that's the reason why he even had Anderson Cooper before you Babylonians to agree that that was the plot and the scheme that they're going to do. That's what they're planning on doing, is banning guns and instituting martial law. Okay, so you have no idea what's going on or what's about to come upon you. You have no idea that you were told on national TV, magic hidden in plain sight, that he's going to do this. Okay, so now let's go into the word conspire. Okay, because that's basically where the word conspiracy comes from. It says here from the late 14th century, from Old French conspire, or conspirer. Then it says from the Latin conspirare, to agree, unite, plot, literally breed together. Oh, so they basically came into an agreement together, all right? Pretty much the elites, because Obama really has no power to do this thing that he's doing. He's basically just a figurehead, all right, a puppet that's put up to the forefront, all right, especially for you Jakes that don't want to believe in the truth. That's the reason why it's a lot harder for you Jakes to believe in the truth, because you see a so-called black man who's not an Israelite, who's a Cushite, and you think he's one of your people. And then you see by the fact that he's married to one of these Jake woman, all right, a nigger woman, that somehow, some way he's going to care about you. And at least know how you think. They already know that you have no idea who you really are. And they know that you don't know anything about different nations, all right, different peoples concerning the scriptures that the Most High set up from aforetime, all right? You don't know about these things. All you think about is how the so-called white man taught you, all right, that basically anybody that has dark skin and can grow woolly hair is black, is one of your people, okay? So when you go into this thing right here, for them to agree, unite, and plot, is letting you know that he is telling the public outright that he's going to do it, that this is the thing that he's been set up to do, okay? And, you know, you Babylonians have no idea what really is going on, but you're going to find out very soon, all right, that this man really was set up to do some real bad things, all right, some cruel things to you. Let's go ahead and Romans chapter 13, verse 4. For he is a minister of God for thee for good, but if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain, for he is a minister of God, of revenger, to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. Okay, so, you know, Esau was set up, especially the elites, they've been set up on the left-hand side to do the bidding of the Most High. And he's a minister to do good. What's the good? The good part is that he's going to bring forth a lot of prophecies to pass, right? And also, you know, for those that didn't want to listen to the message, he's going to destroy them, which is basically good in the sight of the Most High, okay? So he's not bearing this sword in vain. Esau's not going out here doing military drills, okay, for no reason. At the end of the day, this is the plan of the elites of Edom, all right? That they are going to do this, and this is something that is needed, all right, to fulfill prophecy. That's the reason why when you look into the video, into the clip, which you're going to see, in
front of the Senate Judiciary Committee, we heard not only from the gun lobby, but from United States senators that expanding background checks will, not may, will lead to a registry, which will lead to confiscation, which will lead to a tyrannical government. So I would like you to explain, with 350 million guns in 65 million places, households, from Key West to Alaska, 350 million objects in 65 million places. If the federal government wanted to confiscate those objects, how would they do that?
That question was asked by Mark Kelly, who basically he's plugged in with the elites. He's one of the lesser luminaries. He knows what's going on, all right? Just like Anderson Cooper knows what's going on, all right? And just like Obama knows what's going on. He asks, how are 350 million guns going to be taken away from 65 million different places? You know how? They're going to institute a civil war. There's going to be a civil war. You Babylonians are going to be considered enemies of the New World Order. And they're going to basically go to war against you, and all these guns that you have, you're not going to have enough bullets. First of all, the government has already bought billions of rounds of bullets. They already got bullets on deck to last them. They can shoot bullets all day, 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the Gregorian year, and not run out of bullets. That's how much bullets they have. They got drones, okay? They got helicopters. They got fighter jets, okay? They got all kinds of things at their disposal. There's no way y'all gonna win, okay? The only people that's gonna win out of this is gonna be the elect. That's the people that's gonna win when it's all said and done, okay? That's who's gonna come out of all this madness. But for the rest that aren't slated to make it, the only thing that's gonna come is destruction. That's it. So when you're thinking about the fact that how they're going to be able to do it, they're going to do it all right. They're going to cut you off from all things that you associate yourself with living life in America, all right? Which, you know, Abba Rataz, I'll get into another lesson, you know. But right now, Obama's basically letting you know outright that they're going to basically institute martial law, which martial means warlike law, and they're going to declare war on you Babylonians, all you gun-toting Edomites, all you Joe Sixpack, all you Jakes out there that talk about how you got this brand new gun that you're going to use against another Jake. They targeting all of y'all, okay? So the time is going to come where you're going to realize that all the things that the prophets of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua have been preaching is going to come to pass. It's going to be too late, all right? And all you scoffers, all right, that have basically been coming up against the word, coming up against the prophecies, you're going to realize that it's going to be too late for you as well. Because at the end of the day, you weren't slated to believe, and the Most High set it up that he was going to leave you right where you are to basically receive this punishment. Okay, which the men that preach this word, all right, in sincerity, we're hoping to escape. You know, another part of the clip that Obama had was basically talking about, you know, the enterprise. Like, when did he have time to do the enterprise of this work?
There are certainly a lot of people who just have a fundamental distrust that you do not want to go further and further and further down this road.
Look, I mean, I'm only going to be here for another year. I don't know. When would I have started on this enterprise?
Guess what? It wasn't something that he had to set up. That was something that was planned a long time ago. Just go back into the time of the Patriot Act. Go back into the time of different rights being taken away, right, from you Babylonians after 9/11. This thing was already in the works, all right? Even the UN had a plan already back after World War II to disarm all inhabitants of the planet on the earth, which, you know, I've done another lesson on that through the Spirit, just kind of going into the history of the disarmament within the United Nations, of how they want to make that a priority. And that's the thing, that's the next step that they want to do, is basically disarming. Out of all places in the world, who has more guns than any other nation, any other so-called country, all right, on this planet? It's talking about the United States of America. So they got to do a major work to basically take this whole place over and disarm the inhabitants, right? To basically get this New World Order kicked off. Okay, so just going into this verse, this couple of verses in Job chapter 5, verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. And why? Because guess what? When all this thing kicks off, the Most High is going to raise up the men of the elect with spiritual power. And all the things they wanted to do to basically take this place over, or to basically destroy, all right, our people, particularly, all right, you tribes, that's going to basically come to naught. Okay, because the enterprise of that New World Order is going to be spoiled, starting here in the focal point here in Babylon. Okay, and then over there in the Middle East with World War III. They're not going to be able to bring their full world order, the New World Order to pass, but they're going to be able to bring certain things to pass, all right, such as the chip, all right, because when they cut off everything from this society, when that money crashes, all right, when the false flag attack happens, whatever they're planning on doing, and they're working on it diligently right now to figure out what is the best way, the best time, and what's the best thing to do to really get this thing flowing. And they're gonna do it, and it's gonna be big. And everybody's gonna be scared, and everybody's gonna know that something needs to be done, and that's when they're gonna institute whatever it is that they need to do to get this thing really rolling. And it's gonna be known in that day, all right, that the Most High is about to visit the earth, okay? And continuing on, he taketh the wise in his own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. Okay, so that's plain and simple. That, hey, the Most High set them up to do exactly what they're doing. Okay, to institute martial law, to fulfill various prophecies in the scriptures, all right, to ensure that he's able to redeem the elect. So again, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Yasharallah, and salutations to the Akim throughout the four corners of the earth, preaching the truth and sincerity, and keeping the faith of Yahweh Shai and the gospel. Shalom.